everybody, welcome back to Best Life and Beyond. This is your weekly blab. Apologies for it being a little bit later in the week. Normally we're at the beginning of the week. We were a little delayed. We had a lot of stuff going on. Kind of hence the title of what we're talking about. Disneyland tickets and reservations went on sale. So we were a little sidetracked, but we are not going to miss our weekly blab. And I'm not also going to miss the fact that we have a special guest this week on the weekly blab.
Who's that?
Pixar Charlie is in the house.
Yay.
I'm here.
Welcome to the blab, dude.
Thank you. My first blab.
It's your first blab.
This is awesome.
Not that you haven't blabbed before, but this is your first official weekly blab with Best Life and Beyond.
I'm a card carrier now.
You're our official card carrier. And, we like to just sit back and talk about things and what happened during the week, what's about to happen. Just a little discussion, and you guys are here for it and to be a part of it. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, so I think you might be thinking the obvious right now. If you weren't able to check out our What's Happening Wednesday, or you don't follow us on Instagram, you might be saying they normally are on a couch in Malibu or in Orange County, and we are not. We are actually at the Margaritaville Resort in Palm Springs. We did shoot a pretty lengthy video touring the property and our room. Charlie came down for the night, so that's why he's here.
That's right.
We often do that when Spencer and I go on a trip. Charlie tries to come and meet us, so that's kind of a frequent occurrence. And,
it's a fun time.
Yeah, the last time we were in Palm Springs, it was, I want to say around April-ish.
Yeah,
and I think we stayed at the Saguaro, I think it was.
Saguaro, yeah, good pronunciation. It looks like saguaro because it's a G, but it's a silent G.
Sometimes I say that.
Our little Binky was with us at the time.
Yeah.
She is not with us now, obviously. So we think about her a lot. But
really hot.
It was really hot.
It was hotter back then than it is this weekend. It's comfortable.
Wasn't it like around 110?
Oh, easily.
I think it was so hot.
That weekend.
Yeah, and it was in the middle of the situation, as I call it. It was kind of in the heart of it when things were a little bit uncertain. We didn't know what was going on.
Definitely before some surges, that's for sure.
We've noticed a considerable difference in the vibe and the tone in town. So that's a good thing. But I think the title, of this weekly blab references the fact that Disneyland tickets and reservations went on sale this week. Everybody,
it was wild.
It was wild. I mean, I'm sure everybody went through it. That we've heard about so many people having issues and being on for. We were on for how many hours?
We'll actually go further into depth with that.
Yeah.
So the first question I know a lot of people are asking, because I know not everybody sees every video.
Yeah.
But we actually recorded our process of getting opening day on the 30th.
Yeah.
So we went into this situation, this ticket buying situation, going, okay, we have our opening day reservations.
But we had existing tickets. Right.
Thankful to Disney Nana, and we had some, Allie from Napa Valley had sent us some tickets, so we were really lucky and blessed that we got gifted some tickets.
So on the 12th.
Yeah, so we booked those with Victor, Firefighter Victor.
Mm-hmm.
You lived through that process with us. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's pretty nerve-wracking.
Talk about early AM stress.
Yeah.
I wasn't even awake. You can see it in my eyes. I'm
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was just, had the hood on, and he's just like, he was calm as a cucumber compared to me, but still that was for you. For them it probably looked calm, but I know you were nervous. But you were trying to keep me calm.
And I was also trying to kind of shoot it and cover it. And,
you were trying really hard though. Like I could tell that you were like, it's all good, it's all good.
I have faith.
And we almost didn't film it too. Like we were really close to not filming it, and then I looked over at Spence and I was like, I feel good about this. Let's film it. Let's do this. And so he's like, are you sure? Like, what if we don't get it? Like, and I was like, then we'll share that experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a flip of the coin. You don't know which way it's going to go.
We don't know, but we did it.
It all worked out in the end.
It worked out.
It did. I'd like to thank Victor. Now, a lot of people gave us crap, and I said this on What's Happening Wednesday. A lot of people gave us crap, and they're like, you didn't go through the system. Like, I was like, did you not watch the video? Like,
no, we absolutely
2 minutes
did.
Behind him.
We were just a little bit behind, and we did eventually access the reservation system. It was just that Victor got in earlier, and we were able to make it happen that way. And why not take the earlier opportunity?
If you have 2 minutes earlier, why not take it, right? Wouldn't you? I would. I mean, and we did, and I don't regret that decision. I think that You know, and then also there was a lot of like, well, you had the leg up and all that, and it's like, so wait.
Not really.
You have friends? Like, so we would help each other, and we did.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
So yeah, now
we look out for each other.
Right. So
if Charlie was the only one who was able to get access, he would have done it.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works. We just happened to be the ones who were able to do it that day, and so we did.
Yeah, I'd like to say that if you have a bunch of like Disney group of friends, like that's why we're friends and that's how we met. We didn't really meet because, I mean, I think we met because of YouTube, but
because of Disney first,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it was Disney first.
Right.
Yeah, and it just happened to be the Pixar Pier Party.
YouTube was the conduit.
Yeah,
right.
I started watching you like a week before I actually met you.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, I just started watching these guys. I'm gonna holler out at Spencer, say hi. And
there you go.
There we go. It's history.
And you can see that, we talked about that a little bit in that vlog that we did our last day at A Touch of Disney, and we mentioned that process of meeting Charlie that day. So, yeah, Disney was the reason, YouTube was the conduit. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
It's a really big word, and I don't know what conduit means.
Well, just trust
something to do with electricity. Yeah, they put wires through it and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
he's right. Yeah.
Okay, so going back, yesterday, now we didn't know prior to booking our stay here in Palm Springs that was going to be the day that tickets and reservations went live. Now you can make them up to 60 days in advance. You can't have comp tickets, so cast comp tickets if you were gifted those, because we were actually gifted a pair of those.
Yeah.
Couldn't use those. Long story short, if you had tickets through Disneyland or Getaway Today and maybe 2 other sites, you could get tickets, upload them to your app, or buy them. But either way, you had to wait in a queue. And this is the queue of death. The
queue, and ironically, the queue, the little graphic that's on there is Big Thunder Mountain Railway. And it's like animated. You can see the train going through the tunnels and all this stuff.
And the GO.
Yeah.
Greatest of all time right there. The GO.
Oh man. And I like what Johnny Gator said though. He said we were once friends, now we're foes, and he like zoomed up on the goat.
As well as the fact that this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness, because trust me, 11 hours worth of that ride.
Yeah, so that's what I thought would be a nice topic though, to kind of explain to you. Now unfortunately a lot of it's going to come from Katie rambling, because Spencer was editing and he also just couldn't handle it. Like it was just too much for his...
I would just have gotten in the way, let's be fair.
I think you could... You have the capability, but I think it's just not what you like. It's not your thing.
But I also think that we have our expertise with, as far as we divide up the things that we have to do for this channel,
right?
And
our personal lives.
And so I would not have been any help. I would have been a hindrance to the process. And so I did what I do best and edited the previous video. Yeah. Shot the video that we did that day and everything. And so that's. Yeah, I felt like my efforts were best used in that way.
Yes, and then Charlie...
I was at work.
Charlie's at work, so what's he going to do?
I mean, I'm single, so I mean, I had nobody to help me, basically, in my personal life.
Right.
Except for this person right here next to me.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I appreciate it so much.
Oh, of course.
Because I wouldn't have been able to do anything without Katie, so that was awesome.
Katie has made it possible. She is our, for Best Life and Beyond and our group of friends, she is the planner, the scheduler, the producer of sorts, I would say. That's like a producing job as far as if you're going to talk about television. Wardrobe. Yeah, she wears many hats, as we all do at Best Life and Beyond. But I have to say,
your health, like your food.
Whether it's personal or it's the channel, Katie takes care of a lot of things so that I can be free to edit and do what I do. Charlie can be free to do his job, and then have a good time and show up at Disney, and we all have
we make it work.
Yeah,
we make it work. It's a team effort, and I think everybody has that though. I think. That's where some of those comments, they kind of stuck out to me, because I wanted to be like, you can build friendships like that too. Like, I want to empower people that feel like, oh, well, you had help and you had a leg up. It's like, actually, you can do that too. Like, I encourage you, and a good place to start. So I think this is a good, could I use the word conduit? this is a good conduit to bring up that conversation. Let's make it work, okay? This is a good way to make that conversation because I think I want to empower people, and I think the best place to make your friendships like that is Disney, because some of our best friends we met through Disney.
Or so, wherever that you find your joy.
Yeah. Okay? I mean, I guess I just bring Disney because...
Disney is what, brought us together, but like,
it's our love.
It's our love. But there are many things, like there is golf, there's surfing, there's all sorts of things that the community of those things brings people together.
Yeah, that's
and
better.
I think it's important to know that like, you find your people in a sense within those communities. And so that's what we've done. And we don't have, contrary to popular belief, we do not have a leg up on anybody as far as, we happen to be a YouTube channel that focuses heavily on Disney content, but that does not mean...
We don't have media.
That doesn't mean that we have an advantage over you or somebody who doesn't have a YouTube channel. We put a lot of effort into accessing Disney and especially this situation, but we don't have an advantage over anyone else. It's just that we have the network of ourselves and our friends and our common ground, like she's talking about.
Yeah, you have to think about it. If we have a group of like 10 of us, there's a good chance that out of the 10 of us, somebody's going to see news quick.
Right.
Somebody like Victor goes on, Disney sites and he finds like, oh, hey, I think this is a good way. We could log on 5 minutes before.
Sure.
And it worked well for one thing. Maybe it didn't work so well the last one. But you know what? Like,
and it comes down to spending a ton of time within that subculture that gains those friendships and those things. Like if you spend all your time surfing at Malibu at First Point, you're going to know everybody there and you're going to be plugged into that scene. And as far as like what we do, we spend a ton of time at Disneyland together, and so that we're plugged in and we have mutual friends of that same interest. And so that's where, if you want to call it an advantage to us, I think it's an advantage in friendships and as far as how we feel about things.
So the way that whole process worked for us. So I woke, first of all, did not sleep the night before.
Charlie, were you stressed about it at all?
Yes, I was. I was stressed, and I don't know why. I kind of know why, but I didn't know why at the same time.
Because you're always really cool about stuff.
Yeah.
And calm, cool, collective Charlie, the 3 C's. But like, I wonder
Did you sleep the night before?
My normal 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, so because I couldn't sleep. I was that nervous that I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what your level of nervousness was. Or did it more hit you once you were awake?
More than when I was awake, yes.
That makes sense.
It was, sleeping no problem. I woke up, it was like, gosh, I wonder if Katie's going to be able to do this for me. It happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working, I was doing emails, I was on conference calls, and it was like, hold on, Katie. And I go back to work, and then, okay, here we go. And it was nerve-wracking. It was more nerve-wracking at work than it was normal time.
Well, I almost wonder if you had it worse because you don't know what's going on. Really?
Kind of.
Like it's kind of like, here's my information, here's my here's my ticket.
Yeah.
Here's my here's what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, by the way, a few people are probably wondering, like, how do you book your reservations for people? Well, we put Charlie in our party. So that's how we do it. So you can have up to 3 households. So we could have had another person and it would have worked that way.
Charlie's always down for a party, by the way.
Sometimes.
Basically. So that's what we did, FYI. I'm sure we'll get a few questions on that. So I basically had Charlie's ticket information and payment information, and I have him basically on my Disney app. He's connected to me on all accounts that way, so it just works easier. Kind of for those that are at Walt Disney World, it's like the My Disney experience, how you guys can be linked and make plans for each other. That's similar to like what we have, but we just do it our Disneyland way. I woke up, and I think I woke up at like 5:30? No, it was 5:30.
What were you sleeping in for?
I know, for you that's sleeping in.
What the heck?
Yeah, you wake up.
Weren't you at work already? About 4.
I even thought for a minute when I went to sleep, I was like, I hope Katie set an alarm. I remember thinking
because I had fallen asleep already.
You had already fallen asleep, and I thought, is it worth waking her up? No, she probably would have covered that. But you did, and so I didn't worry about it. But it was a concern of mine for a minute. I'm like, I hope
Dude, I was so nervous I woke up before my alarm.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know. And that was the same thing on the 12th when we made the opening day resis.
Yeah.
Same thing. I didn't even need an alarm because I was so like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Like, I was so nervous. But then immediately I talked to some of our friends. I'm not gonna name everybody, but I will definitely name, Victor and then one of our other friends. Some of them are cast members, so that's why I want to keep them, keep their names anonymous. But so they're my close friends. That happen. Some are cast members, some are not. Some just want to stay anonymous. But anyway, so we're all talking. I had your phone, my phone, I had my laptop.
Yeah.
And I was able to log on, what was it, an hour and a half before 8 o'clock? So I got on, and then on my phone, I opened the tab at literally 5 minutes before, like what Victor did.
Yeah.
And both of them, it immediately just did the, you have more than an hour wait.
See, at that point, I didn't even know there was like a virtual queue where you could get on there early.
Well,
and it was,
that's an interesting
you were in line
because
I had no clue. I just happened to get on the website and it was like, well, you're in line.
But it was randomized. It wasn't even a line.
Yeah. See, okay, that's
kept
probably
that on
I
the
didn't know that.
And so you didn't know that there was a virtual queue, even though everybody kind of had a feeling because of how things went for Touch of Disney.
But now, would you call it a queue because it was random? It pulled anybody.
Sure, it was random, but you were in there.
Oh, like a room.
So you had the chance randomly to be pulled because you were already in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So that does have a slight advantage if you were in there. If you had just logged on, you probably could have had the same chance. I don't know. That's a tough question. It just depends on if you were chosen in that randomality. That's a word.
Yeah, and then I know a lot of people have talked about it. It shut down. It was recalculating for a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was afraid of. I thought it would crash.
Now,
it was going down.
Now, thankfully, right before the recalculation, I had got your ticket and reservation, and we were good. But I needed to go back because I had realized that I wanted to book some days for my niece and my mom and my stepdad. Again, I can have 3 households. They were my 3rd household.
Right.
Which technically I don't know how that works, but I'm going to err on the side of caution and said, because we don't live together.
But those were the guidelines.
Yeah, those were the guidelines.
It literally said that in the Disneyland guidelines.
Yeah, I also double checked. I called and I asked, I said, am I able to do this, this, and this? I knew my plans, but I thought, I guess because it was a slight oversight in my world, so I could have had it all done on the same swoop, but I just wanted to get Charlie in on opening day. Then we booked the day after and the day after, and that was the 2nd round of reservations. I didn't get those until about 6:30 at night, or 6 at night, I think it was.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
It was an all-day process.
All day process.
Because we started texting back and forth probably about 7.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, wow.
And I was texting you, I was texting David from Fresh Baked, I was texting Dylan, Adam, everybody. And I'm just like, how are you doing? Like, Dylan and I were nervous. He got in fairly early. I want to say like 12-ish, maybe 1.
Right.
I think. I mean, it was a blur. Now, another thing that we did that I think we should share with you guys, we purchased so many tickets.
Oh, man.
So many tickets. We could have bought a couple of premiere passes for what we spent.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that, but
I do at some point though. I think we need to.
Sure?
Oh, dude.
Are you sure? Okay.
It's painful. Now the thing is, we knew well in advance this was going to happen. We saved our money. We saved.
We did.
We went without a couple things.
Yeah, it's not like we have the luxury to be able to whatever, spend whatever. It's not like that. We are on a strict, tight situation budget wise, and so
we saved.
That again was another thing that you did very well, was like to figure out all of that and what our parameters were and how much we could extend and how much we could do. Also, in regards to the channel and honoring our commitment to the channel and bringing you guys as much of that stuff as we possibly can. You know?
The other reason too, I don't feel, here's the thing, I don't feel as bad, and I know we kind of talked about this on What's Happening Wednesday, I don't feel bad spending that money for something like Disneyland because number one, we're giving back money to a company we 100% believe in.
Yeah.
I feel like they've been closed for a year. If even a fraction of that money gets more cast members back on and hired and back to their job, great.
Yeah.
I will justify it that way if I have to.
No, it is.
Yeah.
We believe in the product. We love it.
On top of the fact that we got a lot of catching up to do. We were, you know,
we made
as
a promise.
as pass holders, and Charlie knows this, we were there a couple times a week minimum.
Yeah.
So
Usually
like
2
we
to
have a lot of
3
ground to
days.
make up and get back there, and it's just, it's one of those things. And like I said before, we don't have an advantage over anybody else. We just have a passion that may exceed other people's passion and interest in Disneyland. Ours is a little bit more intense.
Yeah, we also
if you
shaped
will.
our lives though to be that way. Like, you know, we made the choice of not having children right now. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but we made that choice because, you know, we also we've planned strategically and financially for the things that we want. Yeah. And, you know, I think that's a good thing, and we shouldn't feel ashamed of it.
No, it comes as a little bit of a sacrifice in a sense, because it's like, this is how we choose to spend our money and operate.
The way I look at it, if you work for your money, it's your money.
Right.
You have the privilege to spend it any way you want.
Correct.
So
that's a good point.
No one has to say anything about it. It's your decision of what you want to do.
And there
so
are
it's your
worse
money.
ways, right?
Nobody else's. Spend it on what you love, or who you love, or whatever you want to do.
And plus, I feel kind of nice because the little bit that we give back, like we share our experience with you guys. And then, I mean, selfishly though, it does make us feel good sharing it with you. So there is that selfish aspect of it. Yeah. You know, and we make some money, but we do work, like the editing, the shooting. It's not what you think. I encourage
I've
you
seen
to
the
try
back
it.
scenes. It's hectic. It's hectic.
It's 24/7.
Yeah.
This consumes us 24/7.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you know, we'll get the like, you know, don't you have a real job, or you're always on vacation. It's like, you have no idea. And some of you do that. Most of you do. I'm not, you know,
I guess we're just addressing the like
Crimea River, but like, we work hard, and we love doing what we do, and we love Disney that much.
I've never been happier.
And it shows that you love what you do too.
Yeah, it's
so
like it has to be a perfect circle.
So it's a circle of vlogging.
Of circle
the
of
circle of life.
And it moves us on.
Oh, here we go.
All right,
I said
but
the wrong thing.
See what you did?
Maybe it was the right thing.
Take that off.
You never know.
But yeah, it was good, and I'm really happy that we did what we did. And to be honest, I think we made that promise when we stood out there. You know, I want to say it was on Disneyland's anniversary, and we said when they let us back in, we are going back. I don't care what it takes. And immediately I was like, okay, we're saving money, because I knew we weren't going to get I mean, before they even canceled annual passes, we just knew that's what we're going to have to do. We're not going to get annual passes. Oh, we knew that because of what Walt Disney World was doing. Right. So that was when we started financially planning for that. But we made a promise. We said we're going to go back, and whatever it's going to take to make us feel right, and that is being at Disneyland at least twice a week, maybe 3 times. I'm taking Kaylee back. By the way, we got some days with Kaylee, at least 2, and she doesn't even know yet.
I mean,
what if she watches this?
She wouldn't pay attention this long. She'd be like, Auntie's boring.
But here's the other thing, in respect to all of that. Much like all of you guys, we had no idea if we were going to get in that first day. We didn't. We were just like everybody else going. And we had to, Katie and I came to an agreement that, look, because we were both stressing about it, and I think I've talked to Charlie about it too. It was like, look, there's a chance that we are not going to get in there on opening day, and we have to be good with that. And we have to accept that before it happens, because it's one of those things that, like, I don't want my hopes and dreams to be crushed, but we accepted that thought of like, we might not get in, and we have to be good with that. We have to be happy for the people that are going to get in.
Exactly.
And if that's the case, then that's the case, and that's what it's going to be, and we'll get in eventually. Whenever we get in, we've said it in vlogs, we've said it, it's there somewhere. I remember saying it and saying,
definitely in what's
look,
happening.
whenever we get in, that's what's meant to be.
Right.
I mean, to us, this is like a historical moment.
Huge.
Like I told you, this is like our 1955.
Exactly.
This is, for us that love Disney that much, a lot of people may look at it and say, you know what, it's just a theme park. To us, it's our love, it's our life.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's, to us, it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything.
It's history, it's home,
And it
it's
would have
happy.
been heartbreaking not to get in opening day.
It would have been.
It would have been very difficult.
It would have been, but we were prepared for that because of the amount of people that have that same sentiment for Disney.
Right.
We're aware that it's you know, that's why the company is so big. It's like, look, there's a lot of
So
people that love it
yeah.
like we do, and so if we are not, you know, brought that on that day, then we got to be cool with it. And so that's how we went into it. I want everybody to understand that's really how it was going in, that we just kind of let go and we're like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. I mean, obviously now we can say like, we're so excited.
Yeah, now we can actually get to that. And I do, once you finish your thought, I do want to talk about that with you guys. What are you most excited about? I know we've talked about it again.
I want to hear what Charlie's excited about.
You know, we've talked about on What's Happening Wednesday, but we've kind of shared our thoughts a little bit.
Because we've been asked that a lot, but I want to hear what Charlie has to say.
But we do want to know, like, what is it that, you know,
like almost like walk us through your...
The most exciting thing for me is to hear that little beep when you have to scan your ticket and get through the gate.
Oh, I like that.
That's crazy. I like that. See, everybody's got
to
something.
me, that's the start of the day right there. Once I hear that little, I forgot how the beep went.
Yeah, well, there's a couple noises we were talking about with David, or you were.
Yeah, there's a re-entry noise,
and then
there's a noise when you re-enter, and there's a noise when you first enter. So
well, and there's a ticket and an annual pass, I think.
Yeah, there's different sounds.
Yeah, we'll get the different sound this time. So we're so used to the annual pass.
Now, my other question, Charlie, is that okay, so that happens.
Yeah, you got to walk us through your day.
The sound happens.
Hold your horse. Walk through your day.
Walk us
Look, I'm like sitting here like, walk us through your day. Right. I love that question.
Walk through the gate. We got to go to the, the left side.
So you want left?
Oh yeah, see, I was wondering
go to the
which
side.
tunnel was Charlie going to go through?
We got to go to the left.
Okay.
I have to go left. I don't know, because isn't the saying on the right?
They're both sides. But on the right,
the train is right there.
The train's right there.
So you got to see the entrance.
But you know what's on the right side now is the new Snow White poster.
Ooh. Did that throw a curveball to you?
Yeah, it did, because I'm a Snow White fan. That's my ultimate movie right
Snow White is what made the company. Let's be honest.
That is it. So we might have to go right just to see that.
I just wanted to make sure you were,
at least you know what you're working with.
Right is right about now.
You heard it right here.
Did that make sense?
It made perfect sense to me. Okay, so you get through that tunnel.
Get through the tunnel, then you just walk into the entrance after the tunnel, and you just take a deep breath. Let it sink in. Look to the left, see City Hall. Look to the right, see Abraham Lincoln. Look straight ahead, see the flagpole. See the Emporium. Just stand there and just let it sink in and say, you know what, we're back. We are back.
This is gonna be emotional.
I know, me too.
This is gonna hold. What? Why?
Because I'm picturing it. See, this is why. Okay.
And then in the background, you hear the now arriving
from a trip around Walt Disney's Magic
Kingdom. It comes in, and you're like,
ding ding.
That's when I pass out.
But see, we can't even listen to Charlie talk about this without crying. This is why when we said like we had to emotionally take ourselves back until it's real. This is what we're saying. We're finally starting to come out of our, what do you call it, like our safety protective gear.
It's gonna take forever, time-wise, just to get out of the entrance of the hub.
Oh yeah.
Out of the
even to
out of
make
Town
it
Square.
down Main Street.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your first ride?
I thought the same thing.
What's your first ride? That was what we've been.
Take it all in the atmosphere, seeing people's emotion, because I'm a people watcher, and just to watch their expressions.
Right, because that's where it's all going to go down.
And that's what I'm going to be looking at.
And that's where Walt made the speech right there in Town Square.
Exactly.
About Disneyland is your land, and
and
to all of it's happy place welcome.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, what's your first ride?
First ride. Jeez,
See, I would
love to say Snow White.
Okay.
Just to see the changes in it, because like she made the company.
Yeah,
basically,
she is.
she is the original princess.
Yeah.
To me, she doesn't get the notability or the love as the other princesses, but she started it. She is the first princess.
I mean, maybe you'll feel justified that Snow White is getting her love and attention once you see the new
ride.
You know, because we've seen it's painted.
Other than that, it would probably be Pirates.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
Pirates.
we've gone back and
Pirates
forth.
kind of dude.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth.
I feel that.
About having the resistance, and we don't know. So
that's true too.
We try to have
about that part of the park now.
Well, we're having trouble right now with, do we go down, walk down Main Street and through the castle and over to the back, get on the train in the back of the park, or do we get on that train first, Grand Circle Tour,
do a Grand Circle Tour, almost like give Disneyland a hug.
Exactly, you embrace your arms around the whole park.
Correct,
because that's where the train starts to me, is at the train station.
Absolutely.
It does not start back.
No, we rarely get on anywhere else.
So to me, it would have to be the first ride. Okay, taking it back.
Okay.
I didn't consider the train a ride.
Yeah.
First of all.
Okay.
So,
okay.
My defense, that's what that was.
That's
the first ride, I would say soak it all in when you walk under the tunnel.
Okay.
Get on the train.
Okay.
Ride around, then get off and walk down Main Street.
Yes, that's what
I
agree.
I want to say that that's what we want to try to do. Now things can always change.
Things can always change. But that.
Do we like this?
No, I 100% agree, because I want to give Disney a hug, Disneyland a hug, and then make it back to Main Street like Charlie said, and then walk down Main Street, because then I'll feel like I can move on.
Now that's also saying like what our friends are going to want to do, because we're going to be with a few of our friends. So,
right, but I think.
But I feel like people.
I've talked to David from Fresh Baked has he said the same thing. He wants to get on the train first. Him and I. A week or it's almost been 2 weeks now. Had gone down to see the train actually.
That was cool. I did see that. That was awesome.
And that made me cry.
And he said on the video, and he said it on his as well, that he used to say that his favorite attraction was like either Pirates or Thunder Mountain, and I would always say Haunted Mansion. But he said, you know what? I think my favorite attraction is the train, and we both kind of agreed, like, yeah, because that was what Walt loved more than anything. And,
you have a new appreciation of it.
We have a new appreciation for it. So I think that across the board, everybody's kind of feeling that vibe.
Now, do you be picky? Do you get on the train that has the bleacher seating, or do you get on the regular seating?
Okay, I
do bleacher.
Okay,
so I want to sit facing everything.
What Charlie's talking about is the train has
the holiday cars.
The holiday cars face to the side, and the excursion cars face forward. Now, I don't know, because of the situation, how they've done the seating now. So far, Ernest S. Marsh has been going through that has Excursion 4 on it, or however many. When you say it, it's the amount of cars they have and then the name of the cars. So it had the Excursion 4 or 6 on it. And then Ward Kimball has been making the circuit now as well. I don't know what Ward Kimball is pulling as far as stock, if it is holiday cars or excursion cars.
They could have holiday cars, because they'll probably do what they did on the monorail over in Walt Disney World, where they just put the plexiglass up.
That's up for discussion. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, because I had seen, like I said, the excursion cars. It's easier for them to divide up the excursion cars with plexi and separate people than it is to separate people on the excursion.
Now I also wonder how long is that even going to last, because everybody's getting vaccinated like crazy. I'm so curious. I mean, sure, we'll find out.
Who knows?
But now, how do you feel, Spencer? This one's for you. How do you feel now that you are secured? You are basically planned through June at Disneyland. How do you feel now, knowing that it's actually really happening?
Okay, so it hasn't, how do I put this? It hasn't completely set in. It's one of those things that, like, I'm still very protective because of the last year and what has happened. I've accepted it to a degree, but I don't know. It's going to be like the night before that I'm going to go, this is happening. This is really happening. And then from there, it's going to be like, once we do that first day, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We have days.
Do you think you're going to have shock?
Yeah.
See, getting back to what Katie said earlier about sleeping the night before the
Yeah.
I will not be sleeping the night before opening day.
No.
And I'm the kind of person. I mean, it's sunk in, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Same. Yeah, right.
When I walk through the gate,
right,
I'm there.
Right.
I'm that kind of person. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I got a ticket.
Yeah.
But once I'm there,
I did that
it happened.
I did
I'm
that.
In.
Right.
I'm golden. I got the golden ticket.
Yeah, and Walt Disney
We did that
World.
with DCA, and I was just going to say we did that with Walt Disney World. I didn't know how I was going to react, and I didn't want to kind of predetermine how I was going to react because it was a situation that I'd never been in.
Yeah.
So I just kind of allowed it, and just when it hit me, when it happened, it was like, oh, and that walking down Main Street in Walt Disney World it was so emotional, it wasn't even funny. And for a whole host of reasons. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm back in Disney Park. It was like, man, this has been a tough year.
Yeah.
We lost Binky. All these things were flooding through my brain.
Yeah, it's funny that happened to me.
Didn't it happen when you first saw the castle, though?
Yeah.
That's when it finally hit you?
Yeah.
It was like, as soon as you saw the castle,
we got through the gate, and we went through Town Square, and we turned that corner, and it was like, boom, and it was just like, my heart.
And I felt the Binky thing too. For some reason, I replayed all those days of quarantine and terribleness, and just I could see the gates of Disneyland closing, and then I just saw Binky and all of it, and all those years at Disneyland, and it all like smacked.
Yeah.
It's like, you know when they say your life flashed before your eyes?
Yeah.
Right.
It was really that intense. And
Yeah.
it hit you. It was like, I can't believe I'm here. And there is that level of shock. Like when we went back to DCA that day, I didn't get hit until we were down by the Walt statue.
Right.
And then I was like, oh my god.
Because I didn't think going into DCA was going to be a big deal.
No, I didn't
because
either. I didn't
to
think
be
it would
fair,
be.
as Disneyland hyper fans and historians,
Yeah.
DCA prior to all of this was kind of like, yeah, all right, DCA is cool,
Yeah.
but like it's not Disneyland, right?
Right.
David could attest to that as well. David
Yeah.
was always kind of like, yeah, whatever, DCA, you know.
You love it, but
it doesn't compare to Disneyland. Well, guess what? We walked in there for a touch of Disney, or
just
first,
even
just the first.
Buena Vista Street.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Buena Vista
Buena-
Street. Yes, we walked in for Buena Vista Street, and it was just like, oh my gosh,
Ripped your heart out.
because it was one of the first dominoes to fall, and you knew that was.
That's also a good point, is I know we've brought this up, is it's that representation that we're getting back to the life that we once had, and it makes you thankful. Not that we weren't thankful before.
Right, as a nation, not just as people who go to Disneyland, like as a whole for the populace of this country.
That we're all coming back.
Yeah.
And then you also think about the people that survived, the people that passed. I think it really does all hit you. It's not just...
No, it's everything.
What is it representing? I mean, I kept thinking about Josh.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, you know...
Those that didn't make it through.
And it kills you.
Gets me right now.
I know. See? It's like, I can't not think about it. Because it's...
But yeah, it's because you can't... It's one of those never forget things. You can't just be obsessed and overwhelmed or, you know, caught up in your... part of this affected everyone in the world
in some way,
and so you feel the weight of that. You feel the weight lifting as well, and it's insane. It's you know, for our generation and multiple generations, it's the thing that I never thought this was going to happen in my lifetime. I never did. You? I mean,
never. You're learning everything in the past and the history, and seeing what, you know, our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents went through, and it's like, we're never going to see anything like that in our life.
No.
And we did. It takes you back.
It's heavy duty.
It makes you appreciate what you have at the time, and makes you think.
It can all be
to me,
taken
it
away.
made me feel more compassionate. Even though I am compassionate, it made me feel more compassionate towards other people.
Yeah.
You know, you want to give, and you want to do what you can to help.
Yeah, and you feel empathy for people.
And in a way that makes you feel good.
Right.
Trying to help people.
Yeah.
Through a bad time.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
You know, in that my aspect, hopefully a lot of people did that same thing.
Yeah.
You know, like there's
Sure
a whole
did.
epidemic
I think so.
and still doing it.
everybody steps back and goes, whoa, like.
I think a lot of crap came from it, where we found that like internet trolls and things got really harsh, people shame people, but I do think there's another side of it where, like you said, people did learn a little bit more compassion, we learned more gratefulness.
I did.
I think everybody got some good and some bad, but I think the good outweighs that bad, and we are getting more towards the good. So, we're gonna get there though, and we definitely have to wrap this up though, but
good talk.
The big point is we're going back to Disneyland. Leave me hanging, guys. There we go. We're going back.
We're going back.
We booked a lot. Expect it.
They did. They did.
You still might.
I did by accident.
Hey, dragging you right there with us,
the computer thing.
I really hope that, I know there's a lot of you guys that I've talked to, and you messaged us and said that you couldn't get in on the opening day, but you got some other days, and I'm happy for that. And whatever you got, I'm so happy that you're able to go back. And for those of you that got in, congratulations. We hope to see you there. This is a historic time.
We're truly all in it together. I know that sounds so cliche at this time because you've heard it so many times, but I think for this, good and bad and ugly, whatever it is, we really are all in this together.
She said the good, the bad, and the ugly, so I had to do that.
There it was. I heard it.
And this
you feel
is what
lucky?
I'm dealing with.
That's a different movie.
Oh, that was such an Adam line. I said, and this is what I'm dealing with. That's what he says, right? Food.
This is what we're dealing with.
So this is what I'm dealing with.
Adam says a lot of things. That's one of them.
They
That's
stick
a lot of
with
catchphrases.
They stick with
You're caught between a generation sandwich right here.
I sure am. But, we hope you guys enjoyed this generation sandwich, this Disneyland talk of what's going on in our lives. Next week, another fun week. We got lots of plans. We're going to finish up here in Palm Springs. Has a fun day tomorrow. Right,
they're coming for us now. I don't know if you guys can hear the siren, but they're coming for us.
I gotta go.
Charlie.
Charlie, go!
I gotta go.
Go, Charlie.
We will have a very comprehensive a vlog about this Palm Springs situation that we're in, which is amazing, and we're going to show you guys that. And we'll be back, in Orange County and Los Angeles next week.
Yep.
And lot more stuff to tell you. We have some things that we have not revealed to you that we are excited to reveal to you coming in the future.
Yes.
And like I said, we hope that your Disneyland plans went the way you wanted them to, and you got in at all. Consider yourselves very lucky.
We're in our thoughts, and you still are.
Yeah, and we hope to see you there. And like I said, if you enjoyed this weekly blab, especially with Pixar Charlie, you're the first guest on the weekly blab.
This is awesome. I love it.
Love
it.
Inaugural as far as weekly blab goes. It's
glad to have.
I've done What's Happening Wednesday. Now I've done this.
Yes.
Look at that. Check it off your bucket list.
Yeah. This is this is an ever evolving situation. So thank you for watching, you guys. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, please do. It costs you nothing, and hit those notification bells so you know when we drop new videos, when we go live, all that good stuff. And we will see you guys next time on the next weekly blab, as well as other videos here on Best Life and Beyond. Bye bye, everybody.